So we're just going to step right into the games we played. The first game we're going to talk about is Puerto Rico. This is a very well-known game.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for the longest time, it was like, what? Was it 1 or 2 or 3? I don't know. It's always been in the top 10 as far as I remember. And honestly, this is the second time we've played this game.
Mm-hmm.
The reason we played it again, not because, we're not trying to avoid this game or anything, but it was kind of like an anniversary of the gaming group that we have that we met up with our friend Eric, who, if you've, for some reason, have watched our top 10 favorite games video, he was in there with us as well as Jeremy. But, so, we played it for the second time, and I thought it went pretty well.
Yeah. I think I wasn't sure if playing it was going to be like, because it was very new in our board game career, if us revisiting it was going to be kind of that this wasn't as cool as I thought it was, just because it was new to us. A lot of new mechanisms and everything back when we were kind of not first getting into it, but being introduced to newer things, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. I thought, when you play a game, especially if it's highly rated online, and you come back to it, you're like, man, these people, what are they talking about? I don't really see what they're seeing, but I mean, it's probably still decent. It's just not like top 10 material.
Right.
And I would actually say this was probably deserving of it. Although I will say, and for those of you who aren't familiar with Puerto Rico, basically it's a game where you are trying to plant these plantations and buy these buildings in order, you're farming these different trade goods and trying to ship them off for points and stuff. But the biggest thing about it, I think, and I don't remember if this was the first game that did this, but you've got like these 7 rolls, and then on your turn you pick a roll. So say you pick a builder, right? So you're allowed to build one of the buildings, and if you're the person who initiated this action, you get a bonus, right? So you get the bonus of the building you buy is 1 less. Well, everybody else in play order gets to buy a building as well, but at the full price. Other than like some things that might make it cheaper for them that they have. So every time it's your turn, you're going to get to pick something that gives you a bonus and the roll. Everybody else in sequential order follows that roll. And the idea is you're trying to probably pick an action to where other people can't really do at that time, because there's some things like you produce goods and you get a bunch of goods. Well, if I already have my goods, then I'm going to try to ship my goods or sell my goods, because then you won't have any for that round to do it in.
Right.
And so it's about, action mitigation, I guess, trying to always be prepared for what other people are going to pick, watching what they're doing, be like, man, he's got lots of goods. He's probably going to do the ship action. And so that's the biggest thing about it. And the thing I was going to touch on is the buildings and the fact that they're always stagnant. And I know there's an expansion, or at least it was like a promo or something. It's not like an official, like, go to the store and buy it, maybe. I don't know.
Right.
But without having that, I can see the game getting pretty repetitive as you play it. Like very, what's the word?
I don't know, but I kind of made the same point when we were talking about it. It seems like there would be a optimal pattern that you could take.
Samey.
Yes, early game, late game. We know that this building really crushes it at the beginning. I mean, it's somewhat based on the choices that are made around you, but I mean, I still think that there's probably some kind of pattern you can follow to optimize the game a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, obvious choices. Like, this building's more powerful early game. This building's more powerful late game. It's obvious there's some double-sized buildings that are better because they only have an in-game option, so you don't want to wait too long to get one of those because somebody else might grab it before you. But, I don't know. Like, it seems like we're being negative on this, but it really isn't that big of a deal, I don't think. It's just that if you're going to play this game tons and tons of times, and maybe we don't play games 50 plus times every time, right?
Right.
Because we play a lot of games, especially because I need to review a lot of them. So we play enough to really get a grasp of the game, but in this game, I couldn't see myself playing it enough to where that would become a problem. I'm just saying, speculatively,
right,
I can see that happening. So, but other than that, I mean, the components, I really wish we had that anniversary edition, because apparently the components were a lot better. The components were adequate, but they weren't like stellar.
Right.
And obviously the box art is just horrendous.
Yeah, it's pretty bland.
Blah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so great game. It was really fun. It's just nostalgic to us now. It's not really that old of a game, I guess, but in comparison to some other stuff that we've talked about. But for us, it's kind of like an anniversary thing. It's like the first game we played when we all got together and stuff, and it was just it's really cool.
Well, if anything, I won't be mad when it comes to next year and we got to do it again. I mean, it's an enjoyable game.
I could probably see us playing it more between now and then anyway.
Right.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know why we waited so long, considering the fact that all of us bought copies of it.
Right.
So we all have copies, and only one person's has been played.
Yes. So we almost liked it.
Yeah, really good. And I think the biggest, other than the role selection and stuff, I think it's just really fun trading game as far as like, the trading in the Mediterranean, as Tom Vassell says all the time. It's like the if you set the theme in that same style, of get goods, sell goods, things like that.
Right.
It's really, really well done.
Yes.
Really good. And I think it deserves where it's at.